So one of the biggest lies in sales is that a slow deal is a bad deal or a dead deal. And what so many people don't realize is actually what's happening inside of the buyer journey. Make sure that you are moving at the speed and urgency and pace of the buyer's process and that you understand it. Because the sales journey in your mind is often linear. We go to discovery and then demo and then proposal and then negotiation and then close. And what the buyer is doing is they're going to discovery and they're like, oh, let me talk to like 5 other vendors. And then they're learning a bunch of stuff and they're like, okay, cool. Let's meet as a team and rescope out what we actually need and what we don't and what's nice to have and need to have. All right, now let's go back to those same ones and see who meets the criteria. Now let's go demo to all of those again and realign on that criteria. And then, oh my God, 17 fires just popped up in the business. And we may need to let someone go that's in charge of this project. And oh, we've got all these other priorities. Let's actually table this for like a minute. Let's get back to them later. When you rush someone to make a decision, they will quickly evaluate you, quickly evaluate potential competitors, and immediately go ask for approval. And you know what just happened there? They skipped some needed internal steps. They skipped the steps of building internal consensus. They skipped the steps of truly understanding the problem and the root cause and how it's going to impact and the change of making that inside the organization and all the people that it's going to impact. They missed aligning it to an executive priority. They missed building the business case that when they brought it up to the economic buyer, to the person that could create budget for this, they missed everything that they would need, the case that they need to present to that individual. They missed all their internal steps. There is a direct correlation between the size of the problem you uncover and create and sales cycle length. And the key there is you uncover and create that the buyer didn't necessarily see. At one point in time, I was selling strategic outsourcing, specifically for recruiting. And I was cold calling at the time HR. And I was mentioning to HR that they had lots of positions open in this certain type. And they were like, yeah, we know, we're solving it. It's not a big deal. And so they shut me down. And I could have just walked away from that account as like unqualified or no need. But instead, I was like, no, there is a business impact to these roles being open. So I went to their CFO and their COO. And I made the case and I said, I'm willing to bet for every single one of these positions you have open, it is costing you this much per month. I want to have a conversation with you around how we can drive revenue to you. And I got a response back. They're like, it actually costs us more. I'm willing to have a conversation with you. And I flew up to Dallas and I had an in-person meeting with the CFO and COO of this business. And I laid out the business case and we actually fine-tuned it in the meeting. And we ended up finding out that they were losing $10 million per month because those roles were open. And then I painted them a very clear picture of how we could solve for that. And they bought from me within 30 days. I created that need out of nowhere. They knew they had a problem. HR didn't even care about the problem, even though they were the ones responsible for it. And I was able to build a business case with those two folks in one meeting that drove high urgency and high change. So the urgency and speed of your deals is all about the problem you uncover and create with your buyer. If you want a modern way to manage your deals so you increase your close rates, check out Protect and check out thesalescollective.com.